The Orinoco Plains could well be a smaller version of the Amazon basin. Geomorphological conditions are very similar, but the type of vegetation is determined above all by the climate. During the rainy season, 95% of the plains are flooded, whereas by the end of the dry season, much of the area is barren desert. This is the most difficult time of year on the plains, and many of the animals born during the rainy season will simply die. The buzzard, the commonest vulture in South America, plays an important role at this time of year, which is not always recognized. By clearing away dead bodies, they help prevent infection to both wild animals and cattle. The dry season is also a time of plenty for the alligators. As water becomes scarce, the pools shrink, the fish are trapped, and so are easy to catch. The head and tail, both held erect, tell us this is a dominant male. No other alligator would dare compete with him for food, and in any case, at this time of year, there is enough for everyone. The ibis chicks have grown and need less and less food. Because the fish are concentrated in small areas, the adults can make one last effort to ensure the survival of all their young. The piranhas, which once devoured any chicks that fell from their nests, have now become the prey of their former victims. This season is also hard for the land mammals, especially the need to keep cool during the hottest part of the day. As the dry season continues, the fish die out, but by that time the ibis chicks will be fully grown and able to fly. The flocks then leave in search of better lands, either across the plains or further south towards the Amazon. The drier the season, the greater the migration. They will not return until the next rainy season. The Caracaras also take advantage of the drying up of the waters and eat more fish. Now that the ibis chicks are fully grown and no longer vulnerable, the stranded fish provide a good alternative diet. Although they have the beak of a bird of prey, the Caracaras are in fact omnivores and even eat aquatic plants. Sometimes, as we can see here, they are also scavengers, as long as the dead animal is not in an advanced state of putrefaction. The plains region is divided into two main areas. On the one hand, the so-called low plains closest to the Orinoco. This is where the climate is most extreme and the poor soils mean there are few trees. Grass is the main vegetation. Nearer the mountains lie the high plains, where the climate is more favorable, the vegetation denser. These are the tepuis. For most of the year they are solitary birds or live in pairs, but with the arrival of the dry season they congregate in large groups wherever water can be found. Many other species of bird also flock to these areas during this season. On the high plains, floods are less frequent and less dramatic than lower down. The rivers carry less water and the landscape is more uneven, so when a river does flood over, it doesn't cover the whole area. There are fewer marshes in the rainy season and pools are rare in the dry season. All the animals in the area are drawn to the few pools there are. Some, like the cormorants, are attracted by the abundance of fish, while others simply want to drink.